my sweet dear magical friends. Welcome to your Psychic Tarot reading with me, Natalie, spelled Natalee. As we open up the energies of your download using remote viewing and our trusty decks of tarot cards, tuning into your energies, I'm picking up, I'm hearing someone saying, I know. Like I'm just hearing over and over, like someone knows, or it's you, you already know. I get it. I know, I understand. Yes. All right, so let's take a look. What does this mean? What message am I here to deliver to the people? We've got 3 cards. Ooh. We have the Chariot, the 4 of Cups, and the Lovers. So this is kind of very extremely clear. If you take a look at the middle pictogram, he's being offered a cup, a chalice, and he's not interested. He's not even looking at it. So there may be a very crucial, critical decision that you are making right now, or that somebody else is making right now. One of these is, okay, you need to be honest with yourself about your feelings. You can lie to whoever you want to lie to, but don't lie to yourself. If you're lying to other people to protect your privacy, fine, it's your choice, but know what your true feeling is. Let yourself give it a name. Let yourself call it. Just be honest with yourself about what that feeling is. And you can lie to anyone else about that feeling, fine, but don't lie to yourself about it. Because there's something very clear here that is not giving you a feeling of satisfaction, is what I want to say. This is something that is either your career, your ambitions, the social ambitions, they're not as fun or as great as your personal relationships, or maybe your primary relationship, or maybe one of your primary relationships, business, personal, platonic, is the thing in your life that's like, well, the relationships are not that fulfilling, they're not that deep, they're not that, I'm looking for somewhere to go, I'm trying to go deeper, but there's nowhere else to go. So you put more into the career. It could be, for some of you, we're going to open it up more, we're going to take a look, but for some of you, it is going to be kind of like where one is very clearly giving you an inspired feeling and one is lacking. But what's interesting is that you are getting attention in both of these areas. So it's almost like the career wants you, the career has needs that it needs from you and of you, and then the relationships want you. The relationships have needs that need something from you, that they're looking to you to fill that need, and you're only feeling like truly, honestly reciprocal with one of these. I wish you could see that. That one flipped out really funny. Aha. So we do have the Strength energy. This is it's not always the ego. Not always the ego. Sometimes it's doing something that is very brave, that is also scary and difficult. This is a true challenge, okay? And so, if you're lackluster in the career and you need to spice it up, if you are apathetic in your relationships and you're internalizing your apathy in your relationships and blaming yourself, maybe you're wondering, what can I do differently? What more can I do? Is there anything that I can do different or better, or additionally, but it's not getting rid of the feeling. It's not like really doing anything, because that's not the problem. It's not you that's the problem. It's the connections, the relationships. So this might be a self-honesty issue, that it's difficult to be honest with the self. It could be that it's also just very difficult to reconcile something. Let's keep going. Thank you. Oh, 4 of Wands, beautiful. Really quite lovely. home is good, the house is healthy, family's doing well. Might be a party coming up, celebration. What else? Ah, wish coming true. Let's stop there. That's a really great energy to stop on. Bottom of the deck, Nine of Pentacles, Queen of Swords, and the Knight of Wands. Interesting. So I'm getting, oh, okay. This is where I'm getting the, I know. So there might be something that you've got to either do or initiate, instigate. This might be a little bit more personal though. There might be like a conversation that you need to have with someone. Maybe this is a coworker, maybe it's a manager, maybe it's an employee, maybe it looks very professional, maybe it's personal, but it's looking pretty professional in your overall. Something that needs to be discussed, maybe even organized between very interested and interesting parties. So it looks like one person would be a little bit more cerebral or professional or litigious even, and then the other person would be a very independent, maybe even like an independent contractor type person where they may be independently wealthy, they may be a small business owner, or they may just be in a very comfortable, self-sufficient moment in their lives when they can really appreciate themselves. This is someone that's dressed differently than, like the pages in the deck, or even in this pictogram, you can see that this person's attire is just different. It's different, it's unique, it's them, it fits them. This is more of that traditional clothing. And the whole point of authenticity, it has nothing to do with what anyone thinks of you. That's the exact opposite. The whole point of being your authentic self is for your own sake. It's for how you feel moving through the world and living your life. This is what I love about the Capricorn full moon with Pluto. This is what I love about Pluto squaring or bending the nodes for months, is that it's keeping it real. And if you like keeping it real, I'm loving it, you guys. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love the summer. Venus retrograde in Leo, keeping it very real. So, this is like, there's someone that like knows this conversation has to happen, or knows that something needs to be said or initiated, or there's a lot of energy with it. There's a lot of excitement. There's a lot of, the Knight of Wands is just really excited and excitable. So there's some, it's very, very positive. And it's something, this combination is quite unique in its own respect. So let's go ahead and clarify. We're not doing a million positions today because I do have plans. I need new nails. I need new color on my nails. Okay, let's take a look at your Chariot, the Lovers, and the Four of Cups. What is this? This feeling. I'm getting that people may not always remember what you do, or people may not always remember what you say, but they will always remember how you made them feel. I'm getting that with this. So let me just see. This is so interesting. Okay. So what she said is these transits. So a transit is when a planet moving around in the sky either connects with another planet or connects with an important planet or point in your birth chart, your astrology. But then it moves on because it's moving. It keeps moving and it continues on. So what she's saying is memorizing the feelings of the transits that are maybe brief in nature or not, but to remember the feeling so that you can do it on your own after the transit has passed. So if you have like a Jupiter square Mars transit or a Mars square Jupiter transit, then you can take that confidence and hold on to it even long after the transit has passed. as an example. So now that could be, can you resurrect a feeling from the past, either for your career or for a relationship, and like an ember, can you just blow into it and then it roars back into a healthy fire again? Or is there something else? Is it a different era entirely? Let's take a look. What's that song? Every new beginning comes from some other beginning's end. Okay, this is like half the deck that fell like this, so I'm just going to take the top 4 cards that are flipped upright that we can see. I don't know if you guys heard it. It was really loud. It is the 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Emperor. I should take this one. This one flipped face down, but it was a single card closer to the cards, and it's the Ace of Cups, so we're going to take it. This is the rest of them, which we're not going to take. Okay, so all of this is going to say that there is only a change in your perception that is needed to feel better about all this and to move forward. It really is changing your perspective. So if you're feeling very stuck in a situation, if you're feeling very stuck in, you might feel it as like immovable or suspended, waiting. If you're in any entertainment, we're all waiting for the strike. We're all waiting on the strike. So like that's, if it's like that kind of a waiting, then, it's changing your perspective on, okay, so just personal example. So I'm looking at the strike. We're all waiting for the strikes, right? Developing yourself, re-watching your course materials, going through courses again, listening to old reading sessions. There's actually I'm always thinking about things, but other projects, new projects, going back and maybe writing further on other projects that you had worked on before. You wrote a pilot for something, maybe, kind of doodle on it or riff on it or something, like just to keep your juices sort of flowing a little bit, but not being like depressed and just not doing anything because the strikes are on. That would be the wrong thing to do. You know what I'm saying? So something is maybe in some of these areas a little bit, lacking. But you may be on the precipice of a wonderful epiphany. There's like an emotional renewal happening here. So if you can find a way to keep the fires burning, keep the home fires burning for what's already going well, and then the thing that you have apathy for, there's some kind of like a different perspective. Maybe like for some of you, this is a little bit more business oriented, where you have to like just put people in the right places. Like this Emperor is daddy-o. This is daddy's home, okay? This is like the big boss, the head honcho. So there may be a difficult moment trying to like, where does this person belong? Where do they fit? Okay, in the company culture, in the, if it's more personal, you may have met someone or you may be meeting someone soon that you're wondering, where do they fit in my life? How do I want them to be in my life, but how does it work? Who are they to me? How do I want them in my life? And I want them close, I want them nearby, but I want them in the right, context, or I want them in the right place, essentially. So this is really a little bit more of a perspective shift that's needed, and some reorganizing. Some reorganizing for sure. This really looks way more heavily into the professional part. So, there's seasons for these things. So, if you're really into trying to meet someone, but all of your astrological energy is going into the career, it could be something like that. at least the tarot is really kind of focusing more on the professional part of all this, and not, it's not so strong a message for like friendships or romantic partners. This looks a little bit more professional to me. So finding a very good way to use this idle time or something. You'll hit on it. I can almost feel it happening. You're gonna hit on it. I'm gonna stop talking so you can hit on it. Okay, keep going. Let's take a look at this strength energy. What is this strength energy here? Double lovers. Double. I was right. Everything I just said was right. So I just said that this wasn't really something that was like, I'm feeling very strongly for the relationship part, not the, because as you can see, there's clearly, and then all of your clarification cards were more professional, and here is more of the same. So this is more like the apathy is from a relationship, one of the primary relationships. And so this is where kind of like the problem area is, or the sore spot in some kind of personal relationship of yours. And it looks like it's going to still be strained. I'm not the timing psychic, so I don't know if it's this week ahead or the next 10 days, 12 days, half a month, whatever. But that relationship, the one that you feel like nothing, like apathy, not maybe nothing negative, but just nothing like overwhelmingly positive. And just really remember your feelings. Okay, so if you're taking that guidance about the astrological transits, remember the feeling. I'm just going to take Mars Jupiter as an example because I'm going through it right now, and just like bottle it up and remember it, because that transit will pass and then you can just go back inside to your little memory warehouse. I took that from Stephen King. It's not mine. And so you go back and you just grab that little bottle off the shelf, and there you have it again. So I don't feel like this is going to be something that you can kind of just do that with. My example is a very different context. You can't really do that in relationships because you have that other variable that's not in your control. Let's give you a let's give you a little bit more help. Let's open this up even more. Let's take a look with the potato chip deck. Help us help. Oh. I'm hearing the I know. Careful of nagging people, or careful of people that nag. Don't do that. See, strength and the lovers, please. Thank you. It is the Queen of Swords. It's the Queen of Swords. I don't know if you can see her very clearly. Kind of. Okay. So that takes us back to your overall. All right. So this is like, why are you, this doesn't make any sense. Why are you nervous about having this conversation with this person? What is that? This is weird. This is so weird. This is so strange. Let me tell you this. So it's strange because this energy is linking back to the apathy and to the excitement. So now we're like, all right, here's a concern I have. I'm concerned that you're lying to yourself about your feelings, how you feel about this person, how you feel about, I don't know, whatever this is. There's some kind of resistance to having a conversation, or some resistance to, here's what I'll say, you got to figure out who they are to you in your life. Where do you want them in your life? You're interviewing, you're hiring for your company. Maybe the person's attractive. Maybe you hit it off in the interview. Maybe you have a decision to make. Maybe you want to date this person, but you have to decide, do I want them as a worker, or do I want them as, a potential mate or something? Or, am I going to bring this person on to whatever, or am I going to have them and choose it? Like it's organize who you want them to be to you, and then operate within that. Operate within that. And if you have mixed feelings about it, then that's where the rest of this comes in, where you're going to have your epiphanic moment, your light bulb moment. Light bulb's going to go on, and you will have an emotional renewal about it. So if this is let's just run down a little short list of the most simplest of things. Say it's a work romance, or not a work romance, let's say it's an attraction, okay, for instance, and you're like, oh, what you'll want to do is have a perspective shift, and instead of focusing on the attraction, this is a Queen of Swords and a Nine of Pentacles person. This is someone with a sharp mind, razor sharp. Okay, you ask them about anything and they'll have something interesting to say about it. They'll give you some kind of perspective that is just, you've never heard it before. So, and there's something bringing the both of you together, some kind of common goal, a common, your goal is aligned with their goal. And so you're both really passionate about winning, because a win for you is a win for them. And you know that if they win, you win too. So it's like very mutually beneficial. So you may just refocus on that, is what I would say. I would say refocus on like the thing that is bringing you guys together, uniting you as a team. Dive headfirst into that. Headfirst into it. And that might take some of the pressure off of the connection itself, if there's any pressure. It doesn't really look like there's pressure. It looks like there's actually an abundance of okay, so for some of you that is sexual tension, and it can be channeled through really hard work or research. Let's put our heads together, let's do it. It could be very like that. And that's what I see. I'm trying to think of like we went so far deep into that example. I'm trying to think of like a different thing that this could possibly be. They might be a little intimidating for how smart they are, or for how well spoken they are, but there's already someone else here that's very strong in their own identity. So I don't think it's really that. I think it's just some kind of just your feelings. Really be honest with yourself about your feelings, feel your feelings, and decide how you want them in your life, and then focus on that. Focus on the purpose that both of you serve to yourselves, to each other, on this third thing, this third entity. Listen, I have a 7th house stellium that gives me a Libra affinity, is what it's called. I love partnership. I am so passionate about partnership. My entire life, I have been looking for partners, really wonderful partners. I had looked for all the years I went through acting classes looking for acting friends, writing partners. I wanted to start a comedy troupe, my own surrealist satire comedy troupe, and I was looking for friends and comedians to help me get that kind of going. So it's like, it's really a rare thing to find that affinity. It's a rare, I never was able to find anyone that, like, I don't know, was on the vibe or on the level or understood me or cared or whatever. It never really happened, unfortunately. So, actually not until like the internet, until I got on the internet. So maybe try online. I'm sure there's a lot out there, or just upload to YouTube. So I'm gonna say you guys are really, but here's the thing, you're only as strong as your weakest link. Okay, I know the Capricorn's coming out, so choose a good partner, choose a strong partner, even if there's something to kind of overcome. It might not even be attraction. It might not even be that you're attracted to this person. Instead, it could be that you just know that they're really independent, that they're going to be honest with you, they're going to give it to you straight, and that might be intimidating because they're really smart or they're really sharp or something, you know? So, but whatever it is, you're going to get over it anyway, and you're going to work with them, collaborate with them, or somehow organize like how you want them in your life. So it's going to be like you're going to feel really good about this. You're going to feel really relieved. Again, emotional renewal. You're going to feel so much better about this whole thing, whatever this is. Okay, let's take a look at the Four of Wands. Thank you. Eight of Cups. You might be moving. You might be saying goodbye to a hometown, home country, a physical dwelling. You might be relocating. Might have to travel for work. Might have to, oof. Oh, it's just the Eight of Cups. And you really do walk into happiness. You like literally do walk into your like wish coming true. The 8 to the 9 of Cups. But in order to do that, you do walk away from something that was good but not great. So it's a little bit of that, the Four of Cups apathy, where it's like, it's not challenging, you know? This is a relationship or a connection or something that is challenging. This is a person that's challenging. You know, with partnerships, you're only as strong as your weakest link, especially like in a 2 or more group dynamic, right? And the strength of that bond or that connection is only going to be as strong as the 2 individual people inside of it. You can't just be an appendage to somebody else. You have to be your own independent person for your sake first. And then it adds, you have so much to bring to the connection, to the partnership, to the relationship. That's why we have Libra and Aries. They're on the same axis. You need them both. You need to internalize both of them. That's what's healthy. And you, how do I know? Feel. How do you feel? Do you feel healthy? Do you feel good? Do you feel great? Do you feel strong? Do you feel confident? Because authenticity, independence, partnership, collaboration, all of that boils down to your relationship with yourself. Who was I just talking to about this? It was, no, I think it was no, not a Zoom. It was, I think it was a weekly over on the Patreon. Really quick. I was telling you guys, I love my patrons so much. We have such a great community over on Patreon. I was telling you guys that you doing this work with your subliminal self, your subconscious self, your inner child, you have to do that. And you have to get that alone time and be with yourself so that you can connect to your higher self, because it continues that work. You as the adult talking to your 5-year-old little you, subliminal, subconscious, inner child self, is the same dynamic. That's what your higher self is doing to your adult self right now, going through challenges or obstacles, fears, worries, insecurities. That higher self is the you that already went through all of this, all of the incarnational matrix. You already did all your evolution. You already did all the things, all the tests. You passed it all, came out the other side, and you're done. You did it all. You passed all the tests. You won the big game. You know everything. That's your higher self. So you get to reparent you right now, going through the evolutionary cycle, going through the karmic incarnational cycle. So you get that experience of being both, that you are now the adult and you are talking to your subconscious, subliminal self, little you, 5-year-old version of you. When those feelings come up, you talk to them, nurture them, or be a mother to yourself, be a father to yourself. And you also get to be that to the higher self when you're an adult struggling, because you're not in that mode when you're talking to your subliminal self. No, you got to have it together. You need to tell 5-year-old version of you, hey, I got this. You are going to be okay no matter what. You need to stop worrying. We're going to take you up. We're going to take you away from this environment. We're going to get you everything you like and get your snacks, your blankie. We're going to. But when you talk to your higher self, when you meditate just you and you get that kind of treatment from the higher self to the adult version of you. It's very important for your sake, first and foremost. So, emotionally, you're ready to move on from an accomplishment. You're ready to move on from a great celebration. This could even be a going away party. This could even be, you know, a milestone victory for yourself, and it's okay. Now life moves on. What's this 9 of Cups? This is a wish coming true. Ooh. Oh, we have double 4 of Cups. Yeah, and the 7 of Cups. Okay. Okay, here's what we got. Here's what she's telling me. Yes, I hear voices. I see things that are not there. I believe everything I say 100% of the time. So you got to either think that I'm crazy or magical. This is telling us that apathy that you're feeling, you know, kind of like this wondering, like, I don't know if you're feeling like, oh, do I have to choose one or the other? Or if there's something like incorrect, there's some kind of emotional perception that is incorrect because of the like emotional, there just needs to be like a spiritual, emotional, like kind of like ironing out. You're not doing this mentally. We've got to do this with the heart. You've got to feel this through because there's some, it's almost like you're overwhelmed emotionally with like so many options that you're sort of shutting down, or someone here is sort of shutting down, where it's like there's so many great things happening and I don't want to move too fast, or I don't want to choose the wrong thing or do the wrong thing or do a misstep or something. There's something kind of like there's either so many options or there's a lot of confusion. Could be a lot of emotional confusion. And it could even be that it's clear that, like, be careful with this because this could even feel a little bit like nothing makes you happy. And I don't think that that's a very strong feeling. I'm just saying that you might have like, because you're so stressed out or you're so worn out, burnt out, that you reach that like kaput moment where it just, it's like the fuse blows a little bit. You might have emotional moments where you're like, I can't give anything else. It's a little bit like Saturn Uranus square of like, what was that, 2021-ish, where it's like, I can't care anymore. I can't do it anymore. I'm just like, my juices are gone. The battery's dead. You know, that might blow out a couple of times, kind of what I'm getting emotionally or feelings about things. So when that happens, take a break, go do something that makes you happy, distract yourself from whatever you're getting all twisted up in knots about. Put it all on the shelf. This is why meditation is so important. And then you'll realize that you're actually super happy. So there's an issue. You have everything that you want. Now it's time to want everything that you have. And if you're not able to, then you're going to be able to make changes after you have a perspective shift that will empower you with an emotional renewal to move forward and do what you got to do. And as long as you can own your choices, be honest with yourself about how you feel, you'll be a-okay. You'll be very relieved. Any other guidance? Another guidance, please. Ooh, thank you. Oh, win-win alchemist forecast. Look at that. Full moon in Libra energy. So yeah, you'll be able to figure this all out. And then you've got like all of this down here. Bring love into the situation. Love is the opposite of ego. You cannot have ego and love in the same place at the same time. Ego, you want it to be like a horn or like an appendage. Why did I put an appendage right here? An extra appendage, you know, use it like an arm or a leg or something. It's not your identity. It dies with the body. We only need that to like live human life. Love is divine. The end of a tough cycle approach is very good news. So you might have just been twisting yourself, you know, emotionally with all this stuff, but it's over. The end is approaching. Emotional renewal. You're going to feel better after you have this discussion or organize where this person fits in your life or whatever this is. You're going to feel so much better afterwards because then you can enjoy it. You know, then you can just, then it's the new paradigm. Then you're just in it. Then it's part of the hardest part is getting the habit started. You know, incorporating some new thing into your schedule, layering in time to socialize with a new friend that you met so that they can be like a friend, you know. But after you do all of that, then it's like, oh yeah, I see this friend and I have you know, brunch every second Saturday of the month, and now I work out every day, and you know, then it's already part of your daily system. Your commitment is being tested. It sure is. So like I said, you've got to figure out a way to, you're a little bit like emotionally stressed out, and that's probably why you're like, you can't see the matrix when you're in the matrix. So the emotional renewal is coming. A new start is coming. I literally just said the emotional renewal is coming. You have a new start is coming. So a new start, new beginning, refresh. Did I say meditate and contemplate? Meditate and contemplate. If you have trouble sleeping at night, you're not meditating enough during the day, and that's the only time that you're letting yourself actually process all this stuff. And if you're oversleeping, if you're sleeping too much, you're not active enough. You need to really move your body. Okay? All right, my loves. It's been real. As it is with Pluto squaring the nodes of fate. I love you guys forever and ever and always. Take very good care. I will check in on you guys next time, my lovelies. Until then, many, many, many beautiful blessings upon all of your beautiful hearts.